Hi, everybody. Uh, we're here with our homework in the grammar book. This week, we are looking at adverbs and adjectives together. So, adverbs describe verbs. They tell how, when, where, or to what extent. Adjectives describe nouns. So we can turn adjectives into adverbs by adding ly. In their example here, it's my new shoes are perfect. The shoes, a noun, are perfect. If we want to turn perfect into an adverb, we would add ly so that it's perfectly. And now it can't describe the shoes. The shoes can't be perfectly. The shoes can only be perfect. My new shoes fit perfectly. Fit is a verb. So perfectly is describing how the shoes fit. So in this particular lesson, we are choosing whether we want the adverb or the adjective version of the word. So we're going to have to figure out which word is being described. If it's a noun, a person, animal, place, or thing, then we're going to want the adjective. If it's an adverb, because it's describing a verb, something that happened, an action word, then we're going to be using the adverb. So in our first one, we have shortly. That's going to be the adverb ly, and short. Short is the adjective. Shortly is the adverb. All of the adverbs that we're working with in this lesson end with ly. So our first sentence is the blank flight took only an hour. The blank flight. Now, whenever you see the word the, you are getting ready for a noun. You can't have the run, the jumping, the playing. Those are verbs, those are actions. So when you see the word the, that's telling you that a noun is coming. The adjective can come first. So the short flight took only an hour. The flight. And the word we're looking for is short. It doesn't say to circle it, but we can. We're going to write it into the sentence to complete the sentence. The short flight. All right? Mia blank pre-ordered the book. Excitedly, exciting. Excited, exciting. Now, exciting, I guess exciting can be an adjective as well. Mia excitedly pre-ordered the book. Exciting pre-ordered the book. Pre-ordered is what she did. So if this is what she did, then this is going to tell how or when or where she did it. Excitedly. She excitedly ordered the book. Exciting would not make any sense. And so that's what I wrote. Oh, goodness, Mrs. Brody. Excitedly pre-ordered the book. So we have to figure out what the word is that's being described. Here, because of it's a noun. It's a thing. The flight took an hour. Mia pre-ordered. So that's not a thing. That's an action. That's what she did. She excitedly pre-ordered the book. I rode my bike very. Okay. So we have to decide if rode is what's being described or if bike. I rode my bike very. Is bike being described? That's the noun. But if rode is being described, how did you ride the bike? I rode my bike very quickly. Road is what we're describing, so we need the adverb with the ly. They will blank be able to fix my broken bike. So they, are they what's being described? Or is it about what will be able to do? They will hopeful be able to fix my bike. They will hopefully be able to fix my broken bike. Hopefully is the word we're looking for. A lot of times, even if you can't tell that it's the noun or the verb, a lot of times you can say it out loud and you will know which one is right, because the correct answer will sound correct and the incorrect one will not. We went to the museum to see blank art. We went to the museum to see. So either went or see, those are the verbs. Are we going to describe the verbs or are we going to describe the art? We went to the museum to see beautiful art. Is it how we see it? No, it's the art itself. So we went to the museum to see what kind of art? Beautiful art. And the last one on this page, you have to talk blank in the library. You have to talk blank in the library. Quietly or quiet. Which word goes with quiet, or quiet goes with which word? We're talking in the library. You have to talk. So is that something that you do, or is that a person, animal, place, or thing? Talk. That's an action word. That's your verb. So we are going to look for the ly. You have to talk quietly in the library. Good. All right. If you need to pause to catch up, go ahead. I'm going to move on to the second page. We are still working with adverbs and adjectives. Again, adverbs describe the verb. They go with the verb. Adjectives describe nouns. The ly is how we change an adjective to an adverb. So here's the adjective: the brave firefighters. We're talking about the firefighters. The brave firefighters finished putting out the fire. If we were saying what they did, the firefighters bravely put out the fire. That's how did they put out the fire? They put it out bravely. What are those firefighters like? They're very brave. So the firefighters are brave. Their actions, what they do, is done bravely. So again, we are looking for ly are the adverbs. So we have strange and strangely. We have happy and we have happily. We have loud, loudly, sweet, and sweetly. So there are 8 words up here. There are only 7 sentences, so we're not going to be using them all. We have to pick which word we're using for each sentence. So not only do we have to figure out what word makes sense there, we have to decide if we want the adverb or the adjective. Caleb picked up the blank object to figure out what it was. Okay, right in front of this blank is that clue word. When you see the, remember, a noun is coming. So if it's a noun object, we want the adjective. Okay, we're looking for the adjective here. Caleb picked up the blank object to figure out what it was. What kind of an object would you need if you were going to look at it carefully to figure out what it is, would that be strange, happy, loud, or sweet? If you're not sure what it is, it's probably strange. And because we're describing the noun, we're going to use strange, not the ly adverb strangely. Here we go. Strange. S-T-R-A-N-G-E. Number 2. Bananas. I'm going to just cross that one out. Bananas are a very blank fruit. Bananas are a very blank fruit. What word are we describing here? We're talking about bananas or the fruit. So, strange, happy, loud, or sweet. We are not going to use the ly. So in this case, sweet, unless you think it's a very happy fruit. Sweet fruit. I do like bananas. I spoke blank to be heard over the music. So I spoke how? How did you speak? We are looking for an ly because we're going to be describing spoke. I spoke. Did I speak strangely to be heard over the music? Loudly, happily, or sweetly? You needed to speak loudly to be heard over the music. Now, the music was loud. I spoke loudly. I ran around blank once we got to the beach. How did you run around? We're not describing the person. It's not saying how did I feel? What am I? We're not describing the beach. We're describing running around. I ran around how? Strangely, happily, loudly, or sweetly? I'm guessing happily. I suppose you might have been loud, but we just used loudly, so probably happily. Now, happy ends with a Y. And like with so many words, if it ends with a Y and we're adding an ending, we're going to change that Y to an I and add ly. I ran happily once we got to the beach. My shirt fit blank after I grew taller. Now, we talked about that word before in one of the other sentences. My shirt fit blank. We're not actually describing the shirt. We're talking about how the shirt fit. If it's a how, we need an adverb. So after I grew taller, my shirt fit strangely, happily, sweetly. I think strangely. I was taller and now my shirt is strange. So it fit strangely. So it's just strange and then ly. The roar of the airplane was so blank. What are we describing? Not the airplane itself so much as the roar. And again, we have the. The roar of the airplane was so. This is going to be a noun. We need an adjective. The roar of the airplane was so loud. My grandmother very blank made me a new sweater. Now, are they telling you what the grandmother is? My grandmother is very... No. It says, my grandmother very blank made me a new sweater. So we are describing Very how she made the sweater. So again, we are looking for an adverb, a word that ends with ly. My grandmother very sweetly. You could say happily. It's very nice that she was very happy to make you a new sweater. She made it happily. But since we already used that, I'm guessing sweetly. It was very sweet of her to make that for you. My grandmother very sweetly made me a new sweater. Okay, if you need to pause there to catch up, go ahead. Make sure you watch those videos on the choice board about adverbs and adjectives so we know what we're talking about. Good job, everyone.